G'day, I'm Nick McArdle. Welcome to another episode of RedsTV. Well, the wait is finally over. Super Rugby is back in business, and with their rep players back from test duties, the Queensland Reds are primed for a three-game blitz against the Rebels, the Highlanders and the Waratahs. They're intent on winning all three to ensure their place in the finals and keep alive that hope of winning back-to-back titles. A big win against the Rebels this weekend will kickstart that Reds finals charge, but they'll face a strong challenge against the Rebels, with skipper Sterling Mortlock lacing up his boots for his last Super Rugby game on Australian soil. Before we preview the Reds and the Rebels, let's see what else has been happening in and around Ballymore.
Round 9 of the 2012 Premier Rugby season was a weekend for second half turnarounds as some spectacular games were played out across Brisbane. West displayed a second half resurgence to take down Jeeps at Sylvan Road. After trailing 17-3 at half-time, the Bulldogs looked like a different team in the second 40 minutes, scoring 3 tries to take a vital 27-20 victory. Brothers continued their strong season with a commanding win over the Stingrays at Stockland Stadium. Although the scoreline didn't truly reflect the spirit and fight of the Sunshine Coast outfit, their winless season continues, going down 38-5 at home. East Tigers staged one of the biggest comebacks in recent Premier Rugby history, downing Uni 39-29 at David Wilson Field. The Tigers trailed 29-3 at the break, but they showed why they are premiership contenders, putting on 36 unanswered points to walk away with the chocolates in the match of the round. Sunnybank have closed the gap on the top 4 with a thumping 67-point victory over the Breakers. The Dragons ran in 11 tries in the 73-6 victory as they moved to within 4 points of Jeeps on the competition ladder. Norths let a half-time lead slip for the second consecutive week as they were beaten by Souths 41-17 at Hugh Courtney Oval, rounding out a weekend of second half comebacks. Playing a vital role in East's second half resurgence, this week's Musashi High Performer Award goes to Tigers number 12, David Skelton. Scoring one of his side's 5 second half tries, Skelton played an impressive inside centres game with strong running and solid defence. Congratulations, David. Enjoy that Musashi prize pack. At the halfway point of the season, the competition ladder looks like this. Brothers sit on top with 38 points. East are second with 35. Uni and Jeeps round out the top 4. Sunnybank sit 4 points adrift in 5th spot, with Wests in 6th. Souths are on 16 points in 7th spot, but have 2 games in hand. They're followed by Norths and the Gold Coast. Sunny Coast sit on the bottom of the ladder with 0 wins. This week's match of the round will take place here at Crosby Park when the Tigers take on Brothers in the top of the table clash. The two sides will be competing for the Wellesby Cup, as the two teams sitting on top of the ladder at the halfway point of the season. East are the current holders of the trophy, having beaten Brothers in the corresponding match last season. The other matches to round out Week 10 see Jeeps take on Norths at Yoku Road, Souths will travel to Old Mac Oval to play Sunnybank, University will play host to Wests at UQ, and the Battle of the Coasts will take place at Stockland Stadium. Stay tuned next week for more Premier Rugby action.
Probably Drake, the motto. Anything with Drake, it's all good with me, so gets me motivated.
For Digby Ioane's wing, and Ioane.
Great take from Ioane.
I guess it all comes down to your leg drive. It's the stuff that you do in the gym. So it's just a lot of squats, a lot of single leg lunges. So that gets me going, and just a lot of rehab, which I've been doing with Clark and my physio. But yeah, I guess it depends on the players you got behind. So like someone like Gorgania or Clay Cooper will put you through a gap. That helps my game as well. So.
Well, undoubtedly, one of the strengths of Queensland Rugby is its ongoing ability to produce a stream of talented players through its development pathways, right from the earliest juniors program, rookies to Reds, all the way through the grassroots game and onto the elite level. The 2012 Volvo Queensland Open Schoolboys Trials took place recently to help identify the next generation of talented youngsters from all across Queensland. The top players will be selected to take on the teams from other states at the Australian Schoolboy Championships later on this year. So with more than 40% of Super Rugby players in Australia coming from Queensland and coming through the development pathways, and specifically the Queensland Schoolboys program, RedsTV decided to get in on the action at Ballymore to check out some of the rising stars of the game.
We're here at Ballymore today for the Volvo Queensland Schoolboy Trials, where players from across the state will be representing the Associated Independent Colleges, the Greater Public Schools, Combined Secondary Schools and the Chairman's 15. looking to earn selection in the prestigious Queensland schoolboy sides for the national trials. Let's go and talk to some of the players and coaches and ask them what it means to them to be involved in such a strong pathway for Queensland rugby.
Yeah, it's certainly a very good feeling, you know, to represent your association, and you obviously go out there and try your hardest, and because you really want to do the AIC for me, you know, really proud, and I think that's what I'm aiming to do.
Sean, what about the spread of teams? There's 3 GPS sides and 2 CSS, 2 AIC and 1 Chairman's. Is that a fair representation of the talent across the state?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that GPS schools have the most talented boys and the widest spread of the talented players, but those other associations are growing at a pretty good rate, but it's a fair representation of all the schools, yeah.
Damien, how have the trials gone in the first 2 days?
It's been very competitive for the 2 nights, Thursday and Friday. The standard's been quite good in terms of the players. We were a bit worried about the GPS system this year because they've just changed. This year they've changed the term 3 rugby, so some of the boys probably haven't played as much rugby as what you'd expect. But overall, we're very pleased with the way things are going.
On Friday night, you had a narrow loss to GPS 1, but a really spirited performance from AIC. What did you use as motivation to get up for that game, and how was the preparation going in?
Well, we just came off the back of I'd say a pretty bad loss to GPS 2 the previous night, and in the sheds everyone was surprisingly ready to go. We learnt from our experience, learnt from our first run out, first hit out, and we just came out firing. First 10 minutes we were just, everyone was up and ready to go, and it really showed. Once we hit them hard in the first 10, we matched with them, and yeah, from then on in it was back and forth, but in the end GPS just came out with the win.
Did you have fun, Jordan?
Oh mate, loved it, every bit of it. You can't, what's not to like about rugby, eh? At a venue like this, just amazing.
Vice captain of the CSS1 team. Jack, how's the experience been playing for CSS in this tournament?
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, coming out with a whole variety of different skill levels and different sizes. You know, it's really mixing it with the best, and yeah, I think everyone develops a lot coming to these carnivals, and yeah, I think I've gotten a lot out of it and I've enjoyed it a lot.
Vinny, what do you think about the games this weekend and just the talent that's been on display?
Oh, there's been some great talent from all the schools that's shown. And, GPS boys really stood out. I think they didn't lose a game except for the two games. Yeah.
Most important, boys. Did you have fun today?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, definitely.
That concludes another successful Queensland Schoolboy Trials brought to you by Volvo. There's been some spectacular rugby played over the weekend. Queensland are looking very strong heading into the national titles next weekend, and we wish all the players the best of luck.
The Reds are 1 up on the Rebels this year after beating them at Suncorp Stadium back in round 3. But heading down to Melbourne, Ewan McKenzie's team faces a new beast. The Rebels have shown some solid recent form, claiming some notable scalps, including, of course, the Crusaders. Both teams will be looking to regain top form after the break, and the Reds are intent on giving their run to the finals the best possible start, and of course maintaining their unbeaten run against Super Rugby's newest side. To refresh the memory, let's take a look at what happened the last time these two sides met.
The Reds and the Rebels last met in round 3 this season at Suncorp Stadium, and coach Ewan McKenzie has indicated that the return trip to Melbourne will be no easy task.
It's a tough place to go. We know that the Rebels have knocked off the Crusaders and the Blues down there already this year, so it's not an easy task.
It was a dour contest. The Rebels got on the board first through penalties to James O'Connor. Free-flowing rugby was exchanged for heavy body blows, and it wasn't until the 55th minute that the Reds got to show some attacking play when Luke Morahan was denied in the corner by a desperate tackle from Kurtley Beale. Dom Shipley scored the game's only try just a minute later to give the Reds their first lead of the match.
Try to the Reds at long last.
Mike Harris kicked a match-winning penalty goal in the 64th minute, and the Reds claimed an 11 points to 6 victory. Halfback Will Genia this week outlined the intent of the Reds players as they head into the match well aware that the Rebels will be playing for retiring skipper Sterling Mortlock.
We're just really looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be tough. First game up in Melbourne against obviously the Rebels with Sterlo, you know, as his farewell game. So that'll make it even tougher. So we'll prepare as well as we can and go in, I guess, with the mindset that it's not going to be easy.
The Reds will also have plenty to play for, with Saya Fienga making his 50th appearance for Queensland. After arriving at Ballymore with brother Anthony in 2009, Saya has been an integral member of the Reds squad, playing in every game of the 2011 championship season.
When greatness calls, we will respond.
Thanks for joining me for another episode of Reds TV. With just 3 games to play, the Reds need your support. Only the diehards will make it to Melbourne this weekend, but make sure you secure your seat back at Suncorp Stadium and be a part of the action for the last 2 home games against the Highlanders and the Waratahs. Visit Ticketek for more information. Tune in next week as we take a look at more behind-the-scenes action, and don't forget to send in your questions to @Reds_Rugby for the Reds to answer. I'm Nick McArdle. See you next week.